Welcome everyone to the PYRESWAP show. Hope you guys are excited about everything. First announcement. I just want to show everybody 375K. Do you guys know what this number means? This is the amount of people that McDonald's has promised to hire this summer. You guys are all going to make it. All right? We can all be one of these 375,000 people that get jobs at McDonald's. Okay? I don't know if you needed to hear something bullish today, but like it doesn't get much more bullish than this. Look at how big that number is, you guys. Look at it. Like think about it expanded. Holy shit, like how could we not make it? Like we're gonna be printing money, you guys. Literally printing while we flip. Anyways. Okay, jokes aside, I have received a torrent of praise for the flip book. I'll be honest, you guys, I'm just glad I got it out because even I wanted to nitpick over certain details and, really get our content factory just dialed in a little bit more. I'm working on that still right now. And the point being is, I think explaining what's going on and then providing you a visual for what's going on, I think this helps a lot of people understand more. We're really trying to build the Manhattan Project of Web3 marketing. There is nothing like limp-wristed about this approach, just to be as blatant and as clear as possible. Does that make sense, everybody? Yeah, does that make sense? So, first of all, just a little bit of a sneak peek and a little bit of a tidbit for you guys. This scene at the end where he's like in a treasure room filled with like treasure chests, that doesn't actually happen in the story. It happens in like in a fantasy of his. That's the only image is kind of out of sequence, just so you know, yeah. The story does have like a happy ending for sure, but yeah, just so you know, that right there is a marketing trick where you make an aspirational picture. Does that make sense? You want an aspirational goal. However, his financial situation doesn't improve, but I'm not going to spoil the trick. I'm not going to spoil the ending for you guys. Anyways, so I wanted to tell you guys a story about three people: George Lucas, Joseph Campbell, and of course, Flash Gordon. Do you guys know who these are? One of them is a fictional character, and it's not Joseph Campbell. Okay? So George Lucas, he was an aspiring filmmaker. He was like Francis Ford Coppola's underdog, and he was trying to make it, he was trying to prove that he could really knock it out of the park. And what he was trying to do when he was still unheard of was acquire the rights to Flash Gordon so he could make and direct Flash Gordon movies. Are you guys aware of this? Damn, I should have brought a Flash Gordon image to present. Can you Google that real quick and see if we can get a Flash Gordon image? Because maybe people will recognize it if we show it. Anyways, George Lucas got denied for Flash Gordon. Flash Gordon, by the way, is like an inspirational character for a whole bunch of other sci-fi protagonists, just so you know. Once you see the picture of him, you'll be like, wow, he does seem familiar. There you guys go. Look, I believe he was blonde and wore like a red outfit all the time. Does that make sense? Also, like yeah. You guys see that right there? I'll be honest, there's just so much art of this guy, and the idea of having a sword that extends out into the fucking ceiling. This is I guess quintessential Flash Gordon. Anyways, there you go. Yeah. Anyways, okay, so he got denied Flash Gordon, and then what he realized he needed to do. Damn, I knocked over that candlestick holder. Okay, what George Lucas realized he needed to do was he needed to suck it up and write his own epic story. He needed to just design and engineer a plot that he knew would be an absolute hit in theaters. Does that make sense? George Lucas wrote Star Wars like out of necessity, not for like love or wanting to name a protagonist Luke Skywalker or any of that shit. The whole thing is written because George Lucas was frustrated that he got denied Flash Gordon. Does that make sense? What's funny is that Luke Skywalker is a household name and Flash Gordon isn't. Yeah, isn't that funny how it turned out? But what I'm here to tell you bullishly is that we're taking the same approach that George Lucas took to Star Wars to the investment of Fergus Friend book. Does that make sense? Joseph Campbell was the guy who was like the American mythologist. He's the guy that wrote the Hero with a Thousand Faces, also like the Monomyth, which he basically described the structure of storytelling. Anyways, George Lucas was actually friends with Joseph Campbell. He sought him out to make friends with him and met with him like dozens of times to go over the plot of the Star Wars books, the Star Wars stories. Are you guys aware of this? But yeah, so the fact that Star Wars became a hit was like not a coincidence. Does that make sense? He wasn't just leaning back and pissing into his mouth. Like the whole story was engineered to be a hit. And I found that super fucking inspirational because I don't know if you guys know, nobody gives a fuck about that. They just like it. Do you know what I mean? Like they don't think that, oh wow, he engineered that story to be a hit with human psychology. Nobody gives a fuck about that. They just like it. They're just like, I like that the swords go whoa, 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 right? Isn't that cool, you guys? Right? Darth Vader, he does the breathing, the right? The way Darth Vader breathes. Actually, I'm thinking of somebody else. But anyways, well, you guys get it. Anyways, the Pope died. Did we talk about that already? Oh, there's a new Pope. There's an American Pope. Personally, I think there's a joke there about the Vatican doing this to, weave around tariffs. But I don't know. Yeah, you never know. Yeah, the Vatican must be trying to dodge a tariff on exporting, red costumes or something. I don't know. Yeah. Bibles? Who fucking knows? Anyways, yeah, who knows? Okay, so, did you guys enjoy the flip book? Yeah, did you guys enjoy it? Because otherwise, I'll tell you guys, well, let's see, a whole bunch of silence, so I'm assuming you guys have not enjoyed it. Anyways, the whole thing's meant to be a fucking teaser. It's just teaser content, and also to give you guys an idea. But the feedback I've gotten, at least, shows that we're being a high fucking effort. I'll let you guys know some stuff too. Like, there's some interesting loras, which I've described as well, that you can use to pose our protagonists or other characters. Does that make sense? You guys might be aware that a lot of memes are poses. Are you guys aware? Like there's just memes that are poses? I'll give you an example. There's one where I think it's like, and like the face is like this. Do you know this one? And the background says wheeze. Do you guys know this one? Holy shit, did I do well? Did I do well? You guys did not know wheeze? Holy fuck. Literally, if I build the body out, does it work better? But like, it's like he's crying and he's just like laughing his ass off. If you could just Google wheeze meme, Mr. Producer, I just feel like I'm struggling over here. Yeah. You guys are going to give me a B+ on this fucking drawing once you see the meme, okay? You guys are going to really fucking pass my grade. If you could just blow one of these in. Thank you so much. If you could just expand that one image. Thank you so much. Okay, so you guys see that I did a pretty good job. Anyways, there you go. Okay, you guys see this? The point being is, do you guys know this meme? Or is it just me? Anyways, this is an older meme. It's from 2016, actually. I looked it up earlier. The point of it is that, like, legitimately, a lot of these meme poses, we can, in fact, put our character into that. Like real quick, I'm talking like a second and a half, just like a transition shot where like they're laughing, and me as the narrator, I don't have to address this at all. Does that make sense? Like we just glaze through the fact that we put a character into a wheeze pose, like if they're laughing for whatever reason, and we effectively capture meme-fi along with our content. Does that make sense? We just sneak memes in like spices. Does that make sense? We don't make memes the entree. We can make memes the garnish. Does that make sense? Yeah, I'm just going to try that out. I might end up doing 2 versions because I want this to be effectively like, high effort content, but I think peppering these memes in will do great as a visual hook. Like it'll just keep people engaged in the fact that, was that a fucking meme pose that the character was randomly just shifted into real quick? Do you guys get what I'm saying? Anyways, Yes, exactly, Javery. Easter eggs. Speaking of Easter eggs, Javery, have you ever seen a Pixar movie? You know what I'm talking about? Pixar? It was actually a Steve Jobs company. Alright, you guys familiar with this Pixar? Yes, okay. Are you guys familiar with the concept of what you would call a Pixar mom? You guys know what I'm talking about? Like, who here can finish a sentence? Like, I'm not gonna say it, but who here gets what I'm implying? Okay, fantastic. I'm just gonna glaze over this idea while everybody, okay, Pega, I don't know if they have Pixar in Europe, but in the United States, well, they probably do because they anything that fucking makes money, they'll put that shit anywhere. Okay, Pega, the meme, if you will, around Pixar moms is that they always make them fucking hot. Does that make sense? They just make them like extra good looking. Like they don't need to be good looking, but they just put that little bit extra in there. Does that make sense? We're talking about like 3D cartoon moms, but they make them like, they just give them that little bit extra. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay, yeah, no, Javery, yeah. You guys, like, this is a new development, but I want you guys to know something. The first female character shown in the whole production is Fergus's mom, known as Farrah Fenbrook. And now, yeah, like by design, Farrah Fenbrook, well, never mind. I'll just save it for later, okay? There you go. End of topic. Topic changed, okay? Ending the story right there. Okay. The rest you'll have to wait and see. Okay? Yep. Anyways, yeah. Do you guys have any fun questions? Okay, hey. We're either going to cancel the PYRESWAP show next week or the week after or both. Just so you guys know. I'm going to be working on some things. And I need to cancel the show because I'm probably going to be immersed in this problem for the whole fucking week. Let's put it that way. I don't know if it'll be next week or the week after, or both, but I'm just letting you know that I'll announce the cancellation closer to the date. There you go, Dr. Mac. That's exactly it. Yeah, that's the meme. That's exactly it, yeah. Well done. I'm surprised, the GIF search was able to fucking provide that on such demand. We can leave that out of the stream. Thanks. Good call. Anyways, do you guys have any questions? I don't know what to talk about. Yeah. I mean, development continues, but like I really do. I would say considering like how much work is getting done, we're still working kind of at light speed, but I think everybody in Web3 is used to quicker turnarounds of nothing, but we're not trying to do nothing. I think that like when you're a Web3 founder, you can get pressure by the community that you need to have like some new development every fucking 72 hours, but these are like nothing announcements. Like they're just like these hype fluff, and yeah, I'm not going to get cyber bullied into doing that shit. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? When filming? Jerry, I'll tell you this. I would say I have no fucking idea. Yeah. When start marketing? Abolito, do you mean advertising? Because the thing is, marketing is what I'm doing now. I think in Web3, people think marketing is when you do the shilling. Yeah. Advertising is the... If marketing was an iceberg, advertising is the visible part. Right? Marketing is what I'm doing now. But like, when start, when filming, shit, as soon as possible. But I would still say it's not going to happen. I don't think it's happening in May, I'll tell you that. It could be happening in June, though, realistically. I was saying that in April. Like, without any other delays, we would begin and probably finish filming all of it in June. But I don't know. Yeah. There's always room for more delays. But granted, the project is big enough where... yeah, we'll make it either way. Yeah, just so you guys know. Being realistic. Yeah. That's realistic, Abolito. So, the book is written, right? But it's like not all the dialogue is written. And I don't know if you know this, but the whole thing about engineering the plot is while I've written every single scene, I have not connected them all. Additionally, some of the stuff is going to get edited. Like, so I'm going to have like a group of people that actually like, people that have written books before, by the way, too. So I want you to know that like the people that I'm going to get to like edit my story are like people who are novelists. So again, top shelf in every single aspect of this. Does that make sense? The only thing that we're doing, which arguably could be considered that we're cutting a corner, is that we're not animating and we're not using voice actors. Does that make sense? Yeah, like that's the only fucking thing that I feel like. At the same time, I think that doing a narrator the whole time helps because there's never any kind of like dead audio. Does that make sense? Like having a narrator the whole time helps to move the plot along. Just because you're able to always pack more exposition into a single fucking gap of time. Does that make sense? Like in video, if you were to say that like he spent several days navigating the forest, if you were to show that on video, you have to like show him on video with the sun going up and down. Does that make sense? But in audio, you can just say he spent several days navigating the forest, and then that whole idea is done. Does that make sense? So that does help us, you know, I think doing this style, it helps us like complete the project as well. I hope it makes sense. Later on, I think the shit will be so good that we'll end up getting animation and voice actors. By the way, I have a plug for voice actors. Yeah, just so you guys know, I have a plug. Yeah, I can text them, all right? Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah, you're for hire. Jaber, you want to be a voice actor? All right, later on we can have, you know, community source voice acting. Let's put it that way. We can provide the lines and people can submit their own recordings, as it were. Yeah, why the fuck not? But anyways. I would say again, like, this is going to fucking work, to be clear. Like, I'm not like changing the design anymore. I mean, other than the fact that Fergus's mom has to be a Pixar mom, and other than the fact that memes might get sprinkled into the imagery, like, the plan is not changing. Does that make sense? And, like, the blueprint of this is designed to solve the fucking problem, which is scale the shit out of the user base. Does that make sense? Scaling the shit out of the user base obviously means scaling the shit out of the purchasing of the token. You guys get it. Anyways. Yeah, Javery, that is, oh, by the way, just so you know, like, and that's psychological too. If Farah is hot, does that make sense? Then audience will care more. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Legitimately, that's like I could not give a fuck, but like I realized that for me to not do this, I looked this shit up. Let's put it this way. I looked this shit up. Yeah. So like if Farah is hot, then audience will care more. So she becomes a widow. Fuck, I'm ruining Act 1 for you guys. Anyways, Fergus's dad dies like in the middle of Act 1. Does that make sense? So then Farah is a fucking widow. Anyways, the audience will care more about the farm again. And, oh yeah, you guys know his dad dies because in the fucking logger line. I'm sorry. Yeah, if you guys read the flip book, the dad dies. Okay, I'm sorry. I forget what I revealed and what I haven't revealed. Anyways, yeah. If Farrah's hot, then the audience will care more. I don't know what it is, but like this is human nature. So, anyways, yeah. More on that later. Alright, you guys have any questions? Yeah, there's your log line, everybody. By the way, this log line was designed with a system from Blake Snyder, Save the Cat. Meaning it has to have like well, like I say, it's not exactly Blake Snyder's system because Blake Snyder says your log line should also indicate the budget of your movie to an executive reading it if you were pitching it as a screenplay, which is not part of my career. Let's put it that fucking way. But yeah, the point being is that this is not a live action thing. All right, you guys are a treasure. If you guys have any fucking questions, the next announcement will be which weeks the PYRESWAP show is canceled. Just telling you guys that, okay? It'll be canceled. It'll come back, don't worry. Unkillable project, okay? Any other questions? All right. Well, yeah, thanks for coming to the PYRESWAP show. Enjoy the flip book. For those of you who haven't seen it yet, come to Discord with the last announcement, and you can, in fact, Mr. Producer, do you want to showcase the images of the flip book if you want? Yeah. So this here, the scene, this is literally in the wake of the father's funeral, and that's the mother's life savings and the kit she made for him. That's Fergus right there. There's no other characters in the flip book because, well, I'm not going to explain why. This is him leaving town on the horse named Evergreen. This is him in the capital city getting drunk. And that's why it's fucking, I don't know if you can tell, but I specifically, I cloned this image and I made it transparent 20% and 5% to make it fucking look blurry. So you can see, like, do you guys get that he's fucking schwackered right there? Does that make sense? Like, like, I want you to know that's not like an image fucking quality. I deliberately made it look like he's fucking lit. Does that make sense? Yeah. Thank you, Jaber. Yeah. What I did is I just closed my eyes and figured out how to do it from memory. I'm kidding. Okay. Anyways, yeah, the next one, he goes to jail at, well, never mind. I'm not going to spoil the plot. Here he is in the sewers, and then here he is in a treasure room filled with gold. And I want to just point out here that, like, his legs are like dwarfy here, and like I didn't fucking correct that, and I feel, again, I gotta push past perfectionism. Nobody gave a fuck about his legs until I just pointed it out. And in image 7, for whatever reason, his face became like, like he almost didn't have one, like right there in the sewers. Like nobody cares. Yeah, nobody cares that like his face is unseeable because it's like zoomed out anyways. But I don't know. I'm literally just nitpicking myself because I insist on no audio. My phone? Okay, let me see. Audio check. What about now? Now, okay. Anyways, yeah. So I was nitpicking that in this image, his face just got like pixelated out, and then in image 8, which is the treasure room one, it's like one of his legs is short or something like that, right? And I just want you guys to know the final product will be even higher quality than this. Does that make sense? This is like the MVP of the content in order to fucking show you guys a flip book, and also for me to turn it into a pitch deck, because I want you guys to know I'm going to be shopping for sponsors just for our content project. Because not only can this epic story market Pyre, but it can also market the tools we use to make this fucking content. Does that make sense to you guys? Have I talked about Abijah and Azariah enough? Yeah, for sure. Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Back to work then. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you when we see you. We'll see you with the next announcement.